this is David again with another episode of reuniting the homeless with their loved ones and helping the homeless people that are in need. And today I'm at McDonald's and I saw this homeless person and I was gonna stop I stopped and I was gonna help him out, which I still am. And a Good Samaritan saw us both over here and decided to come help us and give us something to eat, in which I have right here. And I really appreciate it. A Sprite and some French fries and something to eat. Now, what's your name, my friend?
Micah.
How you doing, Michael?
All right. Making it.
Could you tell me something? Where are you from? Introduce yourself to my listeners and tell us where you're from.
My name's Micah. I'm from Cleveland. Born in Cleveland, raised around everywhere around here.
Mm-hmm.
Mansfield, Rendon, Lillian, Venus, Arlington. 51 years old. Just turned 51. I've been out here 9 years. Have a 25-year marriage. Got two kids are grown, so I ain't got to worry about nothing. Just got caught up with the law, drugs, about 9 years ago, and that's where it all started.
That is very interesting, and my listeners, they are very interested in the stories that people have had that had caused them to be homeless. And I noticed you said that you were married for 25 years, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about that marriage. As your wife, how's your wife doing now?
Oh, she's doing
Okay.
fine. She's in Tennessee.
Okay.
With my son, or with our son. And I got two kids. My first marriage, my daughter's 28, my son's 24 from a second marriage. She lives in Georgia. My ex-wife and son live in Tennessee. Like I said, I got caught up with drugs quite a while back, and got caught up in the park over here by the law with a so-called prostitute. She wasn't a prostitute to me, she was a good friend. But yeah, they searched my car and had drugs on me. And they were like, you can either go to jail or you can start pouring everything out and stomp in the ground, which I did. And the third thing was call his wife. I was like, okay. And they could put me in jail for a long time and impounded my car and everything, but they didn't. So.
Wait a minute, they had you call your wife behind this?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they did.
They embarrassed you like that?
Hey, I didn't want to go to prison.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd soon do that and go to prison.
Well, that don't seem like that's legal, but they actually did that.
They did. And I talk to the cop all the time now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a detective now.
So this cop is one of the reasons you're actually not with your wife and homeless?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, not really so much homeless. After I got caught up with that, I could have I went to rehab and tried to OD, and they put me in a rehab, and I come back out here, and I've been out here ever since.
You said you tried to OD. Elaborate a little bit about that. What was going on in your life at that time when you tried to do that?
My wife said she wanted a divorce and kicked me out, and so I didn't think that I needed to live. So I tried to OD, taking pills.
Really?
Yeah. And they were like, you can either go in the ambulance or you can go in the police car. And I wasn't going to get in the police car.
So when you did this, you tried to OD. What actually happened? What was that process like? You took a bunch of pills. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, I just took a bunch of pills, tried to kill myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I threw them up before they got down too far, I think. So I ended up getting sick or anything. I went to the hospital, or they took me to the hospital and to 10th floor, whatever, JBS, and I was in there for like 2 days, and they decided to put me into rehab in Arlington. So I went there for two weeks, and they let me back out. I come back out here, and I mean I could have went probably my family, or my sisters or something, but she wanted me to take a drug test every week, and I just didn't feel I needed to do all that. And so I just come out here and more or less prove to myself I could survive out here on the streets, which I've done pretty good. I mean, I've run across a lot of bad stuff, but I'm kicking. I'm pretty liked out here. I mean, I respect everybody. A lot of them respect me because they know I don't go around stealing from anybody. And I have them come around me all the time stealing, but I won't do that. I just don't look at it like that. They ain't got nothing more than what I got. Well, I want to steal from the homeless people out here. It don't make no sense to me. And I've seen it all out here.
So, what is it like a day from start to finish? How do you survive? How do you know what time you're going to wake up, and what are you going to do from day to day in surviving and eating? And like right now, how do you determine your schedule?
I mean, I don't really determine it. I just, whenever I get to sleep, I get to sleep. When I get up, I usually just get dressed, come up here, panhandle, floss on, and usually make my money that I need for the day to get something to eat, or they feed me up here. I've already had like 2 meals already today, and another one here. And I make my money, give me cigarettes or whatever I need, food for later, ice and soda, for the night. And I'm good. I don't make a whole lot, $10, $15 a day sometimes. And that's pretty much it. And then whenever I get done, I'm up here till 7 or 8, 9 o'clock, and I go charge my phone so I can talk to my kids or whatnot, and I go back to my spot, my camp, and hang out there, or go hang out with other friends out here, or other people I know, other homeless people. And I work a little bit here and there with a friend of mine. They stay over at the motel over there, and he goes around scrapping stuff like that, and so I help him every now and then.
What is scrapping?
Going around hitting dumpsters at businesses, or wherever, finding metal, aluminum, copper, stuff like that, and taking it to the recycle place. That's scrap yard. And that's how I bought my bike and everything. So, I mean, it's a little money. It's not a lot, but it helps. I mean, I can come up here and make $10, $15 and go help him for a couple hours, make 20, 30 bucks sometimes. Just depends on what we get or do.
Do your wife know what you're doing right now?
Yeah.
What does she think about it?
She can't really think a lot. She's in the process of getting ready to get married again. So, I mean, we're divorced now. So, I mean, in 25 years we finally got our divorce, and I mean, she didn't like it, but I didn't like it either. But it's what it is.
You say you have kids. How many kids do you have?
I got 2.
How old are they?
My daughter's 28. My son is 24.
Okay, so, and you still in touch with them? I know what you say.
Yeah.
You talk to them all the time,
I talk to them all the time.
and that's great.
Oh yeah.
Now, one of the things I would like to know, because we all have made mistakes in our life, and we don't hold anything against anyone, and a lot of folks have been in jail before. And you said that you have been in jail.
I've been to jail 3 times.
Tell us about it.
I got caught when I was 15 cutting down school fence. They said I didn't do it. But when I was 15,
That was in Tennessee?
No, it was here in Cedar Hill.
Okay.
When I was 15, I went to jail for 12 hours. And when I was 30, I went to jail in Cleveland for contempt of court. They put me in there for 12 hours. They said I was drunk, which I wasn't. I mean, I probably was, but I wasn't. The night before, it was my 30th birthday, and me and my nephew and my wife went out and had some drinks, and quite a few drinks, actually. And he had court the next morning for DWI in Cleveland. We lived in Arlington, and we went out there and went to court. And they smelled alcohol on his breath, so they took us all three out in the back and gave us all breath tests. And me and my nephew failed, and my wife, she passed hers, so they let her go, and they stuck me in jail for 12 hours. And last time was a year ago. I went to jail for a ticket I had in Forest Hill. I was in there for 2 days, but I mean that wasn't nothing really. That's it. I mean, never had any big charges or anything.
Yeah.
No felonies, nothing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
I'm doing pretty good on that.
Yeah. Now, and then the one embarrassing thing that you had mentioned, that they had picked you up, and you have a friend of yours, and they charged you.
Yeah.
What happened there?
They didn't charge me.
They did?
They let us go. They made me pour everything out. I had 2 grams of dope,
Okay.
2 grams of weed, 300 baggies, scales, dope pop, weed pop, and like they said, so-called prostitute in the car with a needle, with a syringe. And they let us go after I stomped everything in the ground and all that. And like I said, the third thing was call my wife. And so that's what happened. They let me go.
You know, I want to know, is there a drug epidemic among the homeless people out there? What do you see as one of the biggest factors that homeless people have to deal with, besides the hardships of being homeless? Is there a drug problem?
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, because
most of it's methamphetamine or so-called ice.
And I don't want to cut you off, but my listeners don't actually know what ice is. Could you explain what that is?
It's methamphetamine.
What does it look like? I mean,
it looks like ice. I mean, like clear ice.
It looks like clear ice. So if my listeners see this in any of their children's, so they'll know. You know, they need to know what this look like, so they can know what to look for. Being diligent parents and making sure your children is not experimenting with these things. You need to know about them, and that's one of the things I ask my homeless people, is to be forthright with us and let us know about these things. And that's why I asked, what does this stuff look like? Because a lot of us, we hear about it on TV, but we don't know nothing about it. We don't know what to look for, the warning signs. So what did you say, my friend? Educate my listeners about that, so they'll know how to spot it if their children is doing any of that type of stuff.
I mean, it looked, man. I mean, it's you stay up a lot. I mean, it's supposed to keep you up. It's clear. It looks like little shards. I mean, little shards of like broken up chunks of ice, you know, or crystals. And it's usually clear. And sometimes it's got some powder in it. I mean, or what they call cut, whatever it is, they mix in it to make more money for them. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it, really. I mean,
how is it ingested and taken?
You smoke it, you can snort it, you can eat it.
Okay.
I mean, the other thing is these pills they call blues, Percocet. It's actually not really Percocet much anymore. It's like fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
Yeah.
And what does that look like?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've never seen it. I've never messed with it. I just know a lot of people that smoke them pills. They usually smoke them on a piece of foil with a straw, and they light it. I mean,
they light it on a piece of foil with a straw.
And ice, they
can you tell if a person is on those methamphetamines and ice and Percocets?
Well,
What does it make them do?
Well, Percocets more or less like heroin, a downer. They're sitting there just like nodding off most of the time. The ice it's got you up going. I mean, you're moving, talking 90 miles an hour. I mean, it just depends on the person really that's taking it. Some of them are pretty immune to it. I mean, they smoke so much or do so much that it don't bother them as bad, you know. So, I mean, I've smoked ice for 20 years, and it doesn't really affect me too much anymore. I mean, I've never shot it up, so it doesn't affect me like it does a lot of people. If you shoot up, it's more, it goes straight to into your system, things like that. So it's a lot different.
That seems like that's pretty dangerous. Well, all doing drugs is dangerous, and we know that.
Yeah.
Do you think if there was any way possible, do you think that the homeless people would like to get in a rehab to get off of these drugs, or what? Because
some of them would, I'm sure. I mean, but there's some that they don't really care.
They just hooked,
Yeah.
and they really need someone to look out for them, because right now they can't really see straight and make good decisions.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, right. I mean, someone like that one sitting over there on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You see how she's acting?
Yeah.
She's on the pills. She's smoking them blue pills.
Let me show my listeners what he's talking about. If we can see it from
if
here.
you can do that from, they might like that.
No, it just, we don't want to embarrass nobody, but it's just two homeless people that are on the corner, and
Yeah, you see how she's acting.
yeah, I see how she's
on
acting.
pills.
Okay, I see exactly what he's saying about how they act a little different.
Yeah, I mean, I smoke ice. I've been smoking for a long time, but I don't have any different than when I am sober. I mean, you never really know it. So,
Yeah, but I have a lot of sympathy for them, because I know how hard it is out in the hardship they're going through, and they doing whatever it takes to get through this harsh life they live in.
they doing pretty much what they can to get more pills. They don't give a dang about anything else, really. I mean, they want pills.
So you're saying some of them out here just panhandling and out there homeless and begging just to get some money for their drug use.
Yep. I'd rather eat.
Yeah.
I mean, I get my food first before I do anything like that. Make sure I got food and cigarettes. I mean, cigarettes are just as bad as anything, really. But I mean, I've been smoking since I was 13, so I mean, that's one thing it's hard to get off of.
Is the cigarettes?
Yeah. I mean, but I buy a pack of them. I usually get some food, or a pack of cigarettes before I do anything. And then I might go spend $10 on some methamphetamine or ice, and I'm good for a day or two. I mean, I don't do a whole lot.
Right. Right, but that's the hardships that you have to deal with in order to basically to hide the pain that's going on. And this is your first time actually being homeless.
Yeah.
And when you actually became homeless, do you remember back when you actually became homeless and was on the streets with nowhere to go?
Yeah.
When did that actually happen?
Like I said, 9 years ago, when me and my wife split up. I come out here, and I knew a lot of the homeless people, because when me and my wife were together, we have I hung around with quite a few homeless people over where I lived, and we'd invite them over to feed them and let them take showers and stuff like that, holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, stuff like that, which, I mean, we both really like. We help people out. And I mean, I didn't think I'd be out here one day, but I mean, it happened. So I knew a lot of people out here, so I decided to hang out with the people I knew.
working at this point?
No.
No, so
I mean, I kind of was before I came out here. I was driving for Lyft in the car when I had a car. Other than that, I was trying to get my disability because I've got a bad back and a bad hip right now.
Oh, okay.
They just don't want to seem to give it to me. So,
I can understand that.
I mean, it's hard to get disability nowadays. It's real hard.
How many times have you tried so far?
When me and my wife were together, I tried four times with a lawyer, and they couldn't do it. I just kind of give up on it. I didn't have enough medical documentation or whatever from the doctors. Because I just go to the emergency room, get my medicine, and go on. And I never really kept going back to get more documentation. So they just kept denying me. And because I didn't have time for it, really. I mean, I was trying to work when I could and do what I could, you know.
Yeah.
So they make it hard.
So that day that you actually became homeless and you walked out of the house with nowhere to go, that's what my listeners are interested in. The very first time you say, okay, I'm leaving, and you didn't have a dime to your name and nowhere to go, and you walked out on the streets. Is that how it happened?
Yeah.
Where did you go to the very first night?
Here to where my friend hung out, and he let me stay around there by the church for a little while, and I slept at the bus stops on the side of the roads for a little bit, here and there. I just stayed wherever I could. I just laid my head down on the sidewalk somewhere, and I was doing ice more because I didn't want to go to sleep, because I wanted to stay awake and make sure nothing of mine got taken, because they're bad about it. I mean, you lay down and your bag's sitting right here next to you, you wake up and it's gone. I mean, it's hard, and so I'd smoke more just to stay awake. And I mean, it's just the way it was. And like I said, I lived down here under the bridge for a couple years with a bunch of other people. We had a camp that had about 10 tents under the bridge down here by the water. And if it rained and flooded, I mean, everything's gone. Luckily, I wasn't down there but once or twice when it did do that. And they had to have the fire department rescue them and stuff like that. Because we lived on a little island underneath the bridges down here. And it rained and water go on both sides of it. And it flooded. And my tent, one year my tent was about 7 foot underwater. Really? Luckily, I wasn't down there at that time.
You ever tried going to any of the homeless shelters?
No, I don't know. I've heard a lot of bad things about it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
I've heard a lot of bad stuff about it. People fighting, people taking your stuff just as bad there. I've never been. I'd rather be out here on the streets in a tent by myself.
Yeah. Wow.
And I've got friends that stay around here. I mean, except for here lately, well, 2 years before Easter, Good Friday, my friend that lived like right close to me, I hadn't seen him for like 3 or 4 days. And he was supposed to be moving from this spot to another spot. And since I didn't see him, I decided to go find him, try to find him, see if he'd been up to his new camp where he was moving to. And I got walking up the trail, and it was about 3 days after I hadn't seen him, and I found him dead.
Oh my goodness, you found him?
Yeah. Yeah, I found him. He was laying face down. I thought he got bit by a spider or a scorpion or a snake or something, or dehydrated. And I kept up on the medical examiner's site, and they finally updated it about 2 months later, and I found out he was shot in the head.
Oh my goodness, he was murdered.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And one of the detectives that come talk to me up here, after I called and reported it, and they come out and done all the things, detectives come up here and got me up here, and wanted to talk to me, ask me questions, which I told him everything's true, everything I knew. And the one of the detectives was the same one that pulled up on me at the park 9 years ago.
Really?
Yep. It was pretty cool. I mean, I talked to him, I shook his hand, I told him thank you. I mean, because they could have put me in jail for a long time with what I had.
Yeah.
And I told him, I really do thank you. I mean, what he did, it could have been worse. But I don't lie to him. I never will. I've been caught up out here with dope pipe a few times. And I tell them what I have, where it's at, whatnot. And they usually just take it and let me go. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, because I don't usually have anything on me really, no dope or anything. I just usually have a pipe or something. And like I said, if you're straight with them and truthful, they ain't gonna mess with you. They'll let you go. And they did. They do. And about 5 or 6 times I've been caught with a dope pipe, and they let me make it. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
Hey, how is it out here for the homeless ladies out here? You've seen a lot of homeless women. What goes on out here with them?
It's rough on them. I mean, they make some money out here on these corners. They make $100 a day sometimes, $200 a day. But they're on dope and pills too.
Yeah.
I mean, they all of them. I mean, they're all pretty bad. I mean, I have 3 or 4 girlfriends sometimes. I mean, not really girlfriends, just they come out and hang out with me, because I look after them, I help them out when I can, and I feed them, and they help me when they can, It's just the way it's got to work out here. You got to help each other. You can't just expect everybody to help you, and you just do nothing. You got to help them. And I try to look after them as much as I can,
Yeah.
Because it's real hard on them. I mean, they get raped, beat up, all kinds of stuff.
Do they get, now I've heard that about that sexual assault that's going on with them. Do that be happening with the other homeless people doing it, or it be other people that be taking advantage of homeless people?
I don't think it's the homeless people. I mean, it's a mutual thing with the homeless people. I mean, if they want to hang out and do what they want to do, they do what they want to do. I mean, now, sexual assault, I think it's from other people. I don't think it's from homeless people.
Yeah, it's from the other people preying on homeless people.
Or just preying on the women themselves. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
You had a lot of them come up to you and tell you they done been raped and stuff.
Oh yeah, just about every one of them.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is terrible.
I mean, not recently, but just over their lives,
Yeah.
I mean, not saying it's all recent.
But that's one of the...
That's one of their things while they're out with their mind. I mean, some of them are thrown off.
Wow.
I mean, really thrown off.
Because we have people preying on homeless people. That is something that we cannot tolerate. If you had a chance and you were the president of the United States and had a chance to help solve the homeless problem or to do something to help homeless people, what would you do and what would you say to the people that at least could make a change in what's going on with homeless people?
I don't know. I'd take some of these old buildings or something that they wanted to tear down, old motels or something, and turn them into homeless shelters, or let them turn people for homeless people. I mean, there's so many buildings out here they ain't using for anything. They're just taking up space. I mean, but nobody's using them. I mean, those let the homeless people stay there. I mean, that's just me though. I don't know.
No, that's one of the things that I propose, is that a lot of the buildings that are not being in use be converted to places for homeless people to stay, and that would be step one. And while they're there, the homeless people who don't have identification will be help get their identifications back. And the next step, I believe, would be to have rehabilitation centers for the homeless people, because of the homeless epidemic that's out here, the drug epidemic. I believe one of the things that would help is that the homeless people, after they get cleaned up and go to the rehab, then we could get them reintroduced into the workplace and get them back working again. I believe we have a big untapped resource of people that would help get this country's engine back running again. And that will solve the unemployment problem. One of the things we have is this workforce of homeless people that we're not using. What skills do you have? If someone were to come up to you and ask you, would you like to have a job, what would be one of the things you say you do great?
I used to drive. That's my big thing. I always drove cars, vehicles, transporting vehicles back and forth places. That was my big thing. I've never really done too much else. I worked a little car wash, but with my back and stuff the way it is now, it's hard to do stuff like that.
Right, that's right. I forgot. You're on disability.
No,
You're disabled, and you're trying to get your disability.
I have been.
Okay.
Not since I've been out here, I ain't got that time or a chance.
Okay.
It's just you live day to day to survive, pretty much. I'd got my housing at one point a couple of years ago, and I let some friends come stay with me for a little bit, and they ended up just bumping off everything of mine. Told me I didn't have anything there left there, so I didn't go back. I just called the homeless people and said, hey, y'all can have that house back. I couldn't afford it anyway, because at that time I had to start paying for it, and I couldn't afford it because I wasn't working. So, it's what it is. I'd rather be back out here.
Yeah. Well, at least out here you have the freedom to do what you want.
Yeah.
And one thing that's going on right now is they trying to take those freedoms away from homeless people.
No, they destroying camps everywhere, knocking them down, bulldozing everywhere. It's hard to find a place, even move and put a tent. Unless you just get off the grid and where they don't really go. They use the bird in the sky, helicopters and stuff. They find places all the time. So, that's what they do. They're just making it hard for homeless people just to survive out here or stay without getting caught up with anything. That's just it. You get down in the woods as far as you can and pretty much hide if you want. That's kind of what I've done. Me and another guy's done, and they don't really go down in there that far. But you got to worry about the water and stuff by the creeks flooding.
Yeah.
I've seen it many times, and it's bad.
Wow. Well, I gotta tell you this behind the scenes look on life, being homeless, and the pitfalls that you have to go through, and the hardships you have to go through. And we got to consider this when we treat homeless people like we've been doing. And I expect us to change our attitudes, because this is a tough life they have to live. And given the opportunity, they would love to change places with you. So what we must do is, when we see homeless people, we have to show them compassion. We have to think, this could be us, and this person is someone's father, son, father, mother, sister, and brother. And we got to help him. We got to help him. And if we don't, who will? So remember, everybody, we must not hold past mistakes against people. We must give people second chances. And above all, we must love one another. So when you see someone out here homeless, please do something nice for them. Ask them, what can you do for them? And a lot of times, homeless people are so proud that you don't have to ask them, just please do it. Because whatever it is, they need it. And I ask to keep up the fight, everyone. And when you see this man, wherever he is, give him a helping hand, no matter what it is. Thank you very much.